Well, hello everybody. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on the YFZ and what's all new with it. Quite a few things have been added over the off season, and really excited with how it's coming together, but there's always more parts to get. I also wanted to mention that just because I picked some of the parts I picked doesn't mean that there aren't other great options available. I mean, it's probably one of the funnest things about customizing your ATV is there's a lot of choices. Some of the parts I picked might just be for cosmetic reasons, but for the most part, I'm always trying to work with brands that have great customer service and that just want to help us as riders have as much fun as we can. So let's dive right into it here and see what we got that's new. So I figured the first thing we should start with is this awesome Graphix kit that was done up by Spider Graphix. I was super fortunate to go down and watch them install it, which was very priceless. I got some clips of that to include here. Austin and his family run a great business. The people that work there race and ride. There's a lot of passion involved. You pretty much just give them the logos you want. You can tell them from mild to wild. They'll give you a few different revisions that they'll email you, and then you can kind of lock in your design and they'll get it all prepped and send it out to you. If you don't live very far away, even a few hours, I would bring the machine there to have it stickered. It's a lot of work to put these Graphix kits on if you're not really familiar with it, and they literally stickered this whole thing in like 20 minutes, and I was just like, wow, that is crazy. So huge shout out to Spider Graphix. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Awesome kit on the Raptor as well, and I would assume we'll probably have them make us a cool kit for the 400EX. Figure we'll run down some of the brands on the kit here. We have my logo here, obviously, and then Spider Graphix. We've got my local Yamaha dealer, Star Cycle Yamaha. They've been awesome. That's where we got the machine from. I have DBC Racing on here, Blake and Reed at DBC. They're very good builders and caretakers to some really special machines. They do a lot of sandblasting and kind of restoration kind of work. You can send your cases off, for example, if they're looking kind of ugly, and DBC will get them all freshened up for you. They've also been in a few of my videos, so you guys probably would recognize some of the machines that they ride. Also wanted to shout out Hauser Racing. I've got one Hauser product on here right now. Hope to get a steering stem installed here. I want to get their drop grab bar. Hauser is very, very well-known brand, very high quality, family-owned company. Very excited to be working with them. I also want to shout out Rossier Engineering. This has got their full exhaust system. Fantastic how it sounds. Very high quality. Awesome customer service once again. Super priceless to work with a lot of these brands that have great customer service. Also have Illinois Power Sports on here. Jay at Illinois Power Sports did a fantastic job tuning this machine. He's done a lot of my parts installs. He fully rebuilt the Raptor, made that a total ripper. Awesome at dyno tuning. He actually loves dyno tuning. That's like his favorite thing, I think. So just a wealth of knowledge, beyond fun to talk to him. I actually drive 6 hours one way just to work with Jay, but man, is it 100% worth it because I'm always learning from him, and he's just an awesome enthusiast. Also have Urmosi's logo on here. Really like working with Robert Urmosi, another guy who's very quality oriented. He's also big on customer service, wants to make sure everybody's very happy with their products. We have Precision Racing on here. They are very well established. Almost everybody should know by now that I love their stabilizer. I have a stabilizer on this machine and on the Raptor. Probably the epitome of quality is Precision. They just dominate. They have been around forever. I always like to joke that you're not going to find a bad review online about Precision. Let's see if we work our way over here. I've also got, oh yeah, we've got DRW's logo on here. This has got all of DRW's poly parts. I sometimes am riding rocky trails, so it's super nice to have all that protective stuff on there. And I guess we also have our website on here. So a lot of these parts that you guys see on the channel, we are actually a dealer for them. We sell them on our website, so it's a way for you guys to support us, as well as potentially buying merch and stickers from us too. So we're having a lot of fun working with a lot of these guys. Hope to add a few more brands to the team this year. I just wanted to give Spider Graphix a huge shout out. You guys just make the machines look like they're racing when they're sitting still, so thank you again. So this machine just has the big three for performance. We've got the Rossier R4 with new anti-reversion header on it. It's a full exhaust system. Just love the sound of it. They also make another pipe just for the YFZ called the R5, which is more racing oriented. It's got a billet hanger on the muffler. It's just supposed to be more durable, and it's actually a little bit quieter than the R4. So if you're going for noise, this is definitely the one that you're going to want. But both pipes look fantastic. For an intake, this has a Fuel Customs intake with a box. Fuel Customs is really well known within the industry. They got a pretty good reputation. I have their boxed intake on the Raptor as well. These intakes don't have a lid, so if you do ride in any water type conditions, I mean, you do have to be somewhat careful, but you can go splashing through puddles all you want with a box. I recommend running a box no matter what, unless you are exclusively in the sand dunes. The last thing you want to do is hit an unexpected puddle and get your filter wet. You might be down the side of the trail for a little bit. So, and then we can't really see the Vortex ECU, but there's a Vortex ECU underneath here. The Vortex ECU was a bit of an investment, but it completely changed the throttle response on the quad. I don't want to dive into the Big 3 setup much more than this. I do have a full dyno video on it. I'll definitely link it in the description for you guys to check out. If you're going to go with the Vortex ECU, I definitely recommend you finding someone who can tune the ECU first. The Vortex software is fairly exclusive and not a lot of people can actually tune them. So that's the one reason why I drive 6 hours one way to work with Jay, because he has the software to tune it. Also, if you're thinking about working with Illinois Power Sports, definitely hit them up before you buy a Vortex ECU, because they are a dealer and Jay will give you a discount on your custom dyno tune if you do work with Illinois. So I'll just put the seat back on, and this is a custom seat cover by Fourwerx. I really wanted to have their logo on here, but you can actually have your name, or you can put any phrase you want here if you want. They have lots of different design patterns. You can get different types of ribbing in the middle, different types of material. You can actually get like fake looking carbon material and all sorts of stuff, but this is like their gripper seat. You're really glued to it. It's really awesome, actually. I'm pretty happy about it. I didn't get it quite snug down here where we installed it. One thing about Fourwerx is you can send them your seat and they will install it and it'll look ultra pro. So I always like to joke that this is the good side of the quad because the seat looks pretty dang good from this angle. They also say if these sit out in the sun that they can kind of stretch and work themselves in. So I kind of figured I'll wait and see how it does throughout the summer, and then maybe I can stretch this last corner down. So they will also send you a mocked up design via email, just like Spider Graphix, to make sure you're happy with it. And you can also pay to expedite it and they'll get it sent out right away. So huge shout out to Fourwerx. Figured we should make our way up to the handlebars here. I just installed these Pro Taper contour bars. They're actually ATV mid bend. I'm about 5'10", and so far I've liked the ATV mids. I don't really like a real aggressive handlebar bend, and that's just almost cosmetic. I kind of like the look of a flatter bar. I'm pretty happy with the color too. It's like this platinum color, which is kind of hard to see right now, but it kind of matches the frame pretty well. So another thing on the handlebars here is Urmosi's Factory Edition Throttle. Pretty awesome product, very high quality. Love how it feels, and one of the coolest things about this throttle is you can move this to 3 preset locations. So if you're doing a lot of wide open riding, you can definitely pull the throttle closer to you, just work a little less hard. If you have someone less experienced on the machine and you want them to not have so much throttle, you pretty much can just put it all the way away, and they got to work a lot harder to push it wide open. So kind of a cool thing. And another idea behind that is if you got big or small hands, you can really customize it to your liking. There's set screws on the back here, and you can pick the height of the throttle, how high up you want it, and put it exactly where you want. I mean, you can literally fully customize it. Very nice looking throttle too. This is a lot thinner than a factory throttle, so it just looks pretty sharp on there. And then I'm a huge fan of these ODI grips. I wanted to shout out RJ, who's been a long time subscriber, got me these custom grips that have my name on them, which is super cool. I'm assuming you can just order that custom option on ODI's website. But yes, super soft grips. You just got 2 Allen headed bolts on this. You can just unscrew it and pop them right off. They're very, very cool product. Definitely like these grips a lot. Totally recommend them. All right, let's work our way up to the front here and talk about my favorite thing, which is the thing you can barely see, which is this guy, the Precision Stabilizer. This is an Elite model. They make, I want to say, the Standard Pro in the Elite. Very cool product. Essentially, this clamps, it's kind of hard to see, but this clamps onto your steering stem. There's fluid in here. You can fine tune with these dials, I guess, how the fluid moves through the mechanism. I don't know exactly how the internal workings work. I just know that essentially takes bump steer and unwanted hard impacts out of the handlebars when you hit one tire harder than the other. I see people asking all the time, do those things really work? And 100%, yes, they work. Otherwise, I would not talk about it. I've also said many times, if I could only have one part, that is the part. That part allows me to ride faster than I could ever ride without it. I tend to be riding a lot of new places, and I don't know all the secrets of the terrain, you could say. So if we come around a corner hot and I'm behind someone and I don't know what's around the corner, there's been times where that's massively came in handy. if you hit one tire really hard, it's going to kick the bars on you. And if you kick the bars hard enough, you could really hurt your wrist or even break your wrist if you're holding on that tight. So huge shout out to Precision, and thank you guys for keeping me safe. So while we're up here, we might as well talk about the shocks that I had revalved by Rocket Ron. Essentially, when you order from Ron, he's gonna ask you several questions and kind of find out what your riding style is. Thankfully, he's watched a handful of my videos and he kind of knew how I ride. So he essentially built what he thought would be an ideal shock setup for me. I told him I did want to hit some bigger jumps with it if I find a safe jump now and then. And it's definitely kind of a stiffer ride, but the faster I go, the smoother it gets. And I really like that because it's there in case I need that bottoming resistance. It seems like everybody that works with them really enjoys it. So if you guys are looking to have shock revalves done, 100% hit this guy up. I am so excited to do more with him in the future. And we'll just move to this simple bolt-on. This is a Factory43 MX Bumper that had the number plate for it, but I decided to order the Fourwerx Carbon insert, which I thought was pretty trick looking. I don't know how I'm gonna put anything on here. I kind of like that exposed carbon look, but I definitely just wanted a better bumper so that it's easier to pick this thing up. That little factory bumper really sucked if you had to pick the machine up. But I really like the look of these. Obviously there's other options available on the market, and this is, in my opinion, a very cosmetic item. So this is what I chose to do. I'm pretty happy with it. Unfortunately, it's gonna get hit with rocks, but it is what it is. That's just part of it. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with how that bumper idea came out. So now we are gonna move over to what I was very pleasantly surprised about, which is this product right here. Now these Nerf bars do something special, which is these are the Pro Bounce pegs. There's a little rubber damper under here. It's kind of hard to describe. I think I'll have some pictures of it. And this actually hinges at this point and will go up and down very subtly. And I am actually completely shocked at how well that works. For how little it actually moves, it does big things for your endurance. I noticed actually at our first ride at Spider Lake, normally I am like really feeling it, and I wasn't in the best shape for that ride, and these just totally shocked me. Like, I cannot believe how well they worked. Since I do primarily trail ride, I definitely wanted something a little sleeker, but I have been curious about this design and this idea ever since I saw it a long time ago. Once again, this is a fairly expensive product, and unfortunately it's limited to just the TRX 450 and YFZ 450. I really want to see if they'll make them for the Raptor again. I would love to have these on my Raptor, but it's just wild when you've never experienced something like that and then you ride a machine with it. And I mean, we all know how our bodies feel after the demands of riding, and that just, man, very cool. Huge shout out to Hauser on this. It's so great. I'm so excited about using it more. Last but not least, we have the arsenal of DRW parts. I've got their poly rotor guard on here. I also chose to go with their Sprocket Guard. It's definitely gotten a few whacks on it. It's done its job. Another nice thing about these poly parts, especially the undercarriage stuff, is if rocks and stuff hit it, they won't bend up, which we actually had happen on a ride at Spider Lake this year. One of the swing arm skids on one of the riders' things bent up and wedged his rotor guard, and we were on the side of the trail for a half hour bending it back. There's also a guard that's hard to see under here, which I'll probably cut to a picture of, this nice swing arm guard. As long as you're conscious as a rider, you can pretty much bounce off all sorts of stuff with these poly parts on here, and I'm definitely excited about it. I am missing a bolt on my last ride, and that's another good reason for cleaning your machine regularly, is you'll see stuff like that, so I already got a message out for a replacement bolt. So yeah, very happy with my DRW protective stuff on the back. I've got similar setup on the Raptor now. He makes parts for tons of sport ATVs, so you can most likely find what you need. DRW's probably most famous product is his Case Saver. Tons of people run these Case Savers. I also have their Chain Slide in combination with it. I definitely would recommend getting both these products together. I'm pretty sure they're designed to really spit the chain out in case it does break and it doesn't bind up in there. So if you're going to get their Case Saver, you might as well get their Chain Slide. Pretty sure I had to put a piece of wood on that and really whack it onto it. So if you get one of these, you kind of got to give that a good slug with a hammer to get it to go over the swing arm bolt here. But these are very inexpensive products to protect your machine. I also want to give a shout out to Glenn Innovations because they make great Case Savers and chain sliders. He's got an awesome lineup of protective parts. Another awesome company for poly, and just anything you need to keep you on the trail, definitely check out Glenn Innovations as well. And then for the bigger DRW parts, I've got their big poly skid underneath here. Love that big belly skid. It actually comes out past the frame. Pretty nice peace of mind when you have a product like that. So yeah, that's kind of the current update to the machine. Obviously there's more things we'd like to do. Just looking at it right now, it's like I'd like to get different levers for the controls. Like I said, it'd be great to get a gas cap for it. I haven't prioritized that, just something that looks a little cooler. If you have recommendations for any of these parts that I don't necessarily have, or just parts recommendations in general, feel free to leave them at the bottom. It's always fun to look and research stuff that I might not know about, so thank you guys for doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the update to the YFZ here today. It was kind of fun to make this my own over the off season. It was kind of hard to get some of this stuff, but that's just the nature of the beast right now with the industry. But things will hopefully start catching up in a few months, and it's just been a total blast to ride this thing. Thank you guys for buying shirts on the website. We hope to add more merch designs throughout the year. It's just such a crazy adventure, and just trying to keep up and go as fast as I can. So we have a lot of videos that's filmed. We went on an awesome trip down to Florida. That content is coming. You guys just saw the 400EX. That thing is super fun. Hopefully do some fun upgrades to that, and just keep plugging away. We got a whole nother season ahead of us. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a good one.